Welcome, YouTube. I'm your host, Lawrence Youngblood, reporting from the city of New Orleans, author of Raised in Violence. Back at y'all with another episode, another video, another docu titled My Roots in the St.Thomas Project. Today I'm going to be reading from chapter 2. So without further ado, let's get y'all entertained. Chapter 2, January 1982, evening time. While my mom was at her custodian job at Laurel Elementary School nearby, Carol was at work at Michael and Tire Shop out in Gentilly. Samantha was in the care of a relative until Carol got off from work soon and was able to pick her up, and Sent ran off to the sweet shop truck that was anchored in the next driveway over. I was home alone in our first floor 2-bedroom project apartment in the St. Thomas housing project. Sid and I hadn't too long ago made it home from our new school, Andrew Jackson Elementary, that wasn't too far away. And instead of doing my homework like a good boy I normally did when I got home from school, I got into doing mischievous bad boy activity, playing with fire, literally and symbolically. After getting the usual check-in call from my mom at work to make sure Seth and I made it home from school and everything was fine with us, I found a stashed big brown paper bag of fireworks we had left over from our recent New Year's Eve and Day celebration. I had such a thrill igniting the explosive and sparkles with my family and new friends in our St. Mary Street courtyard, and seeing Carol shoot his gun in air like other neighbors were doing. I hadn't been able to come down off of the high the excitement put me on. I actually hated it when my parents made the fun end and decided to save the fireworks that were left for the coming 4th of July holiday. This was my second time experiencing having so much fun igniting fireworks, and I just couldn't wait for the next holiday. My little young brain just had to feel the rush. I knew this was wrong and bad, and I could get in big trouble, but I just couldn't resist the urge when I spotted the bag. Besides, I really didn't think I'd get caught or that my parents would find out. Actually, I really wasn't thinking at all. When I hung up with my mom, who was upset about Scent leaving out of the house knowing she was prohibited to do, I spotted the bag of fireworks up on the shelf in my parents' bedroom small closet. I instantly became excited. I ran to the kitchen, grabbed a chair from the kitchen table to stand on, and reached the bag. Once I got the bag, I took a few smoke bombs and twisters out, and then went and placed the chair back in the kitchen. I couldn't find any of Carl's lighters or matches he kept laying around since he was a cigarette smoker, so I settled for using the small stove in our small kitchen. The stove was near our back door in the kitchen. I figured all I had to do was open the slender metal brown door wide and just quickly throw the fireworks through it and out into the small hallway, or far enough through the doorway of the hallway and out into the back stoop in the small backyard. I really thought this was a perfect scheme, especially when I started igniting the fireworks and quickly tossing them out into the hallway in the cold and misty atmosphere. I was having the fun I sought to have. In fact, I was having such a blast, I wasn't even realizing the smoke from the smoke bombs was fogging up the hallway and seeping a bit into our apartment. I was just subdued by the thrill, which I didn't know came with a price, a hefty price that would soon catch up to me and make me pay in full. A week after I graduated from kindergarten to the first grade in June of '81, my mom and Carol moved us across town to the Irish Channel of the city and in the St. Thomas housing project, also known as the Tent Wall, STP. The project was a smart, massive brick land that consisted of 2 to 4 story apartment buildings. It was a predominantly broken black family community. Very few homes had biological fathers or father figures headed a household. It was the ghetto slums, which, like any other ghetto or project, the St. Thomas was very much crime and drug infested, rootless. Before our migration across town, all St. and I knew was our grandmother's block and a route to the iceberg lady. It took us a few months to adapt to the crazy new environment of the St. Thomas, which we hardly ever went outside before adapting. In the beginning, it took a lot of courage for us to even just step outside of the confinements of our home to go to our new school. Even when we were forced to leave the apartment, we didn't go any further than the front porch and courtyard. Learning a new habitat, along with the neighborhood horror stories of Charlie Chester, the child molester, and Raper Man Jake circulating, was too much for our sensitive emotions and brains. We were like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, shaking, scared, lost in a whole new world. After facing our fears and adapting to the crazy new environment, though, Sid and I started mingling in the project and interacting with the neighborhood kids more. Like the nature of the habitat, where there was a bunch of undeveloped and misguided youths, there was sure to be disorder and trouble amongst them. Talk about bullies. This environment bred them. Fighting and mischievous behavior was the norm. We were amongst and encountered some real badass kids who learned their values from the project and streets. It was crazy. Wow. This was no place for the weak, I can assure you. Although I was a skinny little fragile kid and it wasn't in my heart to hurt another or see it happening, it wasn't in me to be a chump either, which before I met a fault, Sid and Quincy, who both were good fighters and had tapped into their brave hearts before I did, would always push me to fight and defend me. My first fight happened about a month after we moved into the St. Thomas. It was on the 4th of July holiday with this cocky, country strong 7 years old white kid named Taylor, who would later become known as White Boy Taylor. He lived with his mom and tall, goofy looking 10 years old sister straight across the courtyard from our apartment. At one point in time in the past, the projects were predominantly white establishments before blacks started moving in and whites started moving out to the suburbs. Taylor and his family and a hippie white dude named Roy and his dear mom, who lived above us on the second floor, were the only whites I knew of that were left, which they all had so much of our black ways and culture in them, only their hue made you know they were actually white people. This particular day I clashed with Taylor though. I was by myself out during the evening on our front lawn cement porch with the lit incense stick, igniting twisters and sparkle rods. I'd gotten down to my last sparkle rod and was playing around with it. I was amazed at the sizzling sparkles and shining like diamonds and stars in space. When it got low and was about to go out though, I tossed it out into the football field like courtyard, imagining it being a rocket ship of sorts landing. However, Taylor, who was approaching, I hadn't befriended or encountered yet like I did the other neighborhood kids, quickly picked the sparkle rod up and threw it straight back at me and hit me in my neck with it. I quickly slapped it off of me, feeling the burning sensation. I looked in a state of shock down at the white boy talking shit, then just charged straight toward him. Before this confrontation, I can't remember ever being combative or volatile toward anyone besides Quincy once or twice. Not even during my kindergarten year at Crocker. Of course, I saw this type of behavior moving into the projects, attending summer camp at the community center Kingsley House. It was like normal behavior. But even then, I'd hate to see it occurring and would shy away or at least try to dodge it because there wasn't any escaping it. I was surrounded by it every day, which I knew eventually I'd have my run in with this brutism. And honestly, I didn't know how I'd handle it. I didn't know if I'd fight or flight or stand my ground like my parents stressed me to do whenever I was confronted by this demon. I sort of stayed in fear of this moment of truth. Having Taylor finally present the moment to me, I'm not sure if it was what my parents stressed to me about defending myself or if I was angry or fear or peer pressure. All I knew was that I had to retaliate. I couldn't let this motherfucker get away with violating me. As I came down off the porch, I charged at Taylor, throwing punches which landed to his hard head, full of curly black hair, since he tried to quickly duck the blows. When he raised back up, though, he swung back, hitting me hard in the face and left side of my head, which sent my little half-pint sized body sliding on my hands and knees in the mud. At this point, I'm real furious, yet knowing in the back of my mind I can't beat this big white boy, this white kid. I quickly saw a piece of log, though, that was about the length and width of my bony arms near, grabbed it, and hopped back up to my feet. I motioned to crack Taylor across his head with it, but instead I threw it at him as he fled toward his home. I was a bit glad he fled because I really didn't want to fight anymore. Not because I knew I couldn't beat him, but more so because I didn't like the way this behavior made me feel. It felt like I was out of sync or order. I wasn't me. I went back up on the porch for a few minutes to compose myself and figure out how to get it aside without my mom seeing me all muddy, which would lead to her getting on my case. And that was the last thing I needed or wanted. She would definitely turn up the flames. It was inevitable that this new volatile environment or crazy stage of life robbed me of my innocence. I was in the middle of a madness, the belly of the beast. As a twister twisted violently in the hallway, I stood in amazement with a delightful smile looking at the flame, the firework, the illuminating multicolor whirlwind whistling sound, the sizzling gray smoke it was giving off was all so awesome. I preferred for it to never to stop or go out, but just as fast as it came to light, like a live wire, it ceased and went out just as fast. Of course, I wanted the excitement and rush to continue, so I hyperactively, with much zest, turned to the high fire coming from the front right ply, lit my last smoke bomb, and then quickly threw it out in the hallway just as my mom stepped in. My eyes widened to the size of golf balls as I stood in shock, frozen stiff. I hadn't gotten accustomed to telling the time and the clock yet, but I knew Carol always made it home at or around 5 o'clock with Matt a while after Sint and I got home from school, and my mom would make it home from work much later when night had fallen. She definitely took me by surprise, popping up unexpectedly, which it was still light outside. My mom quickly kicked the sparkling smoke bomb out of the hallway and into the driveway just before it ignited in the flurry of smoke. She conked me in my head with her knuckle, then tightly grabbed hold of my right bony left little forearm and yanked me closer to the stove. "You want to play with fire? You want to play with fire, huh?" she said madly, holding my right hand just above the high fire. "No, no, no," I cried out, truly frightened out of my mind, trying to get loose from my mom and away from the fire, but it was useless. I was overpowered. No matter how much I kicked and twitched and pulled, I couldn't break loose. "Please, I'm sorry, I continued, crying my little poor heart out. My mom wouldn't stop or let up though. She just continued ranting about my disobedience while holding my hand over the high fire. I felt so terrified and doomed at the same time. My mom chastised me many times, which she stayed on my case about any little thing. She never was this cruel and monstrous though. In my little mind, I knew this was extreme and not something a loving mother would do to her child. It was so heartbreaking and mind altering, even though I didn't understand tough love at this young age. Fortunately, even though it felt like forever, but was only about 15 seconds, my mom released me. She checked my right hand, then conked me upside the head again with her knuckle and said viciously, "Next time, I'm gonna burn your fucking hands off. I catch you playing with fire or doing something you ain't got no business doing again. Now go get your ass ready for bed." I quickly took off heading for the bathroom to run my bath water while steady crying my poor heart out and holding my hot right hand as my mom continued ranting about my bad behavior. I even heard her say this incident proved who set the mattress on fire a few years ago at my grandmother's house, where Quincy and I were playing with matches, striking and throwing them out of the second floor window of my aunt's bedroom, but accidentally set one of my aunt's bed on fire. It was fortunate the fire was quickly extinguished and no major harm or damage occurred, like the house catching on fire. But of course, Quincy and I got our asses whipped despite our family never getting to the truth as to who actually set the match that started the fire, since Quincy started blaming first, and I assured wasn't me, but him instead. He was the actual one that got me to follow him and participate in the danger in the first place, but yet he threw me under the bus. Cold world. Yeah, that was chapter 2 of Raising Violence. So now I'm present to you all the visual, the docu of that particular chapter. So without further ado, before y'all leave in this ending of it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe money, man. Need the subscriptions and likes to go up. Need y'all support. Appreciate it. Want to order my book, Amazon.com or lypublication.com. Get your autographed copy through my website. I also have three books for $30 discount. So stay tuned. So, we're in the tent walk. Jackson and Confrontation, turning on Confrontation. About to enter into STP, St.Thomas project. tent wall. When my days are coming up, and it was bricks, bricks, non-station, Adele, Adele right there. Then you come to St. Andrew. All this was bricks, project bricks. But before Katrina, early 2000, it was tearing it down anyway. Katrina just stamped it where it's like it's a whole new beginning of it. There's only like one little small section of the original bricks, and that's on the new side of it. But this St. Mary, this would be my courtyard, but they done made it a street. Yup. And we will live about right here. 824 St. Mary. St. Mary. Yeah, so like I said, this what we use to stay at. All this be bricks. 2-story, 3-story home, apartment building. This area here, it would be like a courtyard. Everybody used to be out playing football, spinning tops, marbles, hopscotch, name it, man. It went down in the courtyard. The white boy Taylor, who I got in a fight with, he stayed right across the street from me. His home would be about right there. And we was on the porch, and I say we got into a fight right there. I was on top of the porch, threw the little flame thing, and hit me in my neck. I threw it out, and I come charging down the step. Me and him started fighting right there. We started fighting about right here. That nigga hit me, boom, had me sliding in the mud. I grabbed that piece of log. He hauled and shot across the street and ran inside. That's my partner now. But yeah, man, this my roots here, man. Project from 1980, late 80 to 86, early 86. We moved out, So, yeah, I'm gonna take y'all to a few places. That was where we used to roam that. This part. So this is St. Mary's Street courtyard. It wasn't the streets. It used to be like number dirt, grass, big old courtyard. And of course, this where we stayed at, 824 St. Mary. On top of it, there was 2 doors that lead to the upstairs house. This was a white guy called White Boy Roy. I remember Brad, Chiwi, they stayed next door. And then we had my childhood partner down there, Bannister, and his sister Gilda and brother Frankie. They would live right here. Yeah, man, it used to go down in this courtyard. This would probably be the cut where it would lead to the driveway, and that building there in the back of it is where me and my cousin was storing the bees, trying to kill the bees, and the bees wound up stinging me. Yeah, man, it go down in this court. Yeah, this was the mid-80s, man. early mid 80s. So different, yeah. St. Mary Annunciation. They had a fire hydrant right here. Everybody used to turn it on. Everybody be in the middle of the street holding up traffic, just playing all out in it, man. It's summer fun. You know, they'll be like, we ain't going to Kingsley House today. We gonna play in the fire hydrant. Then when we cross over here, cross the non-station, we basically venturing off into the new side. But you know, my mom, she called it, you know, once I cross over here, I used to always get in trouble. Yeah. This is mostly what my courtyard, part of St. Mary courtyard. Well, my dad and them people, my dad's side of the family lived at. His niece, Charlotte, my cousin Dottie, they lived right here. Yeah. And her sister, Shawana, they lived over here. And my aunt, their mother, my aunt, my dad's older sister, she lived, my aunt Lorraine, she would live right next door to them in that building. Yeah, I used to be all in this little area, man. I remember right here, I got into a fight with Leslie. His name was Blue. He had a brother named Kevin. No, it was a badass boy. Yeah, but both of them wound up getting killed. But man, Leslie spit on me, man. Man, we was tearing it out here. But of course, he beat the shit out of me. You know, man, drew a big old crowd of kids. Kids came out of nowhere. Man, he really messed with me. So I was about like 7, 8 years old. So I went winding to my dad and he was in his niece's house, Charlotte. I went whining to him, man. Me dad, man, beat me up, man. But my dad went off on my ass, man. But yeah, man, this is my St. Thomas route, St. Mary Courtway. I'm gonna bring y'all across the other side, the new side, most of well. Man, I go over there by Bam and Jeremy, and I'm always getting in trouble, always getting into a fight, which years later would lead to senseless violence with some cats, you know. Yeah, we cool now, you know. But yeah, this is my St. Thomas roots. St. Mary, non-station. Alright, so about to take y'all now where our community center. Well, you very seldom see that these days. In the cities, you know, community center. But the one, you know, I mentioned in my book, it's called Kingsley House. Oh man, Kingsley House was the place to be, man. We used to walk right around, walk around here, come to Kingsley House, old Kingsley House, still up there. After all the bricks gone, project, all is still here. This would be the check-in gate. Everybody used to come in right here. But it changed it remodeled it. Everybody used to come in right there. Oh, then we go around here.
This the front entrance of Kingsley House. Man, you rarely see somebody go in that area, go through that entrance. But it was mostly always the side entrance everybody went in through, especially the non-Asian side. But the Large Street side, everybody went in the morning time. Mostly on the evening times, everybody come in on the non-Asian side.
This this the entrance where we used to go into the game room, the arcade, Pac-Man, pinball machine, you know, pool tables, you name it. Everybody went in through this way. But down here, down here was this is where the ultimate area used. Everybody used to crowd up at. Man, it'd be about like about a hundred wild black ghetto project people are just lined up around in this area right here. Everybody waiting to get in line, you know, to go in and go to the pool. I used to love going swimming in here, man. It was like one of my favorite spots. It's like favorite places to come. You probably can't see because the gate locked. But this was the area. This was the area everybody used to line up on both sides. And we come in here, wait to go in and go have some fun. Go swimming in the swimming pool. They had the low diving board and the high diving board. Oh man, it was awesome, man. The pool ain't there no more. They didn't cover it up, made it a basketball goal. But that used to be the pool area right there. It was about, I think it was about like 80, 83 guy from out the project. He drowned, and after that, I didn't want to swim in nothing no more. That was it for me. The pool, swimming in this pool rather. Man, God bless his soul, man. That was a real sad day there, man. Everybody was like crying and mourning. Oh man, it was real sad, man. I forgot the dude's name, man, but he drowned in the pool. But yeah, man, this is my St. Thomas roots.
We riding up Felicity, approaching St. Thomas. See, this the only little section they got left of the bricks. The St. Thomas Street. Man, this because this was the serious area here. This 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 the bricks. That's all they have left of bricks. Everything else is new homes and new apartments. But yeah, man, they used to go down to this little area here, man. They used to go down, man. Every time I came on this side, be with Bam in Germany. Oh man, I had to fight. Which would lead later into senseless violence, you know. Senseless violence, man. All the projects gone, man. Yup. This is St. Thomas in Josephine Street. I used to right up here. There used to be a store, man. Everybody used to come to. They had a lot of other stores, but this was one of the stores I always went to. Uh, they had a barber shop, and they had the dealing stayed there. The man, and all that. Then they family stayed right there. Oh man. Then on this side was the bricks. Oh man. All of it's gone, man. So now I'm back at Annunciation. Annunciation in Josephine. All the brick gone. New home. This was another store they called B&S. Used to come here a lot too. Down this way it used to be it wasn't no street, it was a courtyard. Laura Courtyard. This was also right here. They tore it down. This empty lot right here used to have a community center, a little small community center, but it's mostly a gym everybody used to come to play basketball. I ain't really like too much hanging on in that one. Kingsley House was my spot. But yeah, this my St. Thomas roots. I'm about to bring y'all to my old elementary school, Andrew Jackson. He used to, from first grade to the fourth grade. This is where mostly all of St. Thomas. You either went to Andrew Jackson or Laurel. If you from out the St. Thomas, you went to Andrew Jackson or Laurel School. That's all. That's two of the project. Ain't too far from the project. A couple of blocks from the project. We would walk here, me and my two sisters, and walk back and forth. Oh, so much had changed from the 80s, man. None of that, all that was grass and field. This used to be a store. We all used to go there and get treats and stuff out of it. Walk our way home. Always a walk down here. Walk all the way down. Like I said, it wasn't too far from our home. See, about 3, 4 blocks, 3, 4, 5 blocks away from our home, man. We always walk down Magazine Street, hit Felicity, then turn into Laurel, and which wind up to St. Mary. That used to be a church chicken. All that's gone. Yeah. All this is all the tent wall. This used to be a record store where my dad bought my first rap tape from. The Fat Boy. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's my St. Thomas roots. Y'all stay tuned for some more docu, visual, and read uh Raising Violence. To ask why I went from good to bad to worse is to ignore from which I came. My life story. Stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next one. Peace.